I love you. I love this song. Oh, I love you. Same words, different meaning. And so just to get this topic started out, wanting to ask to each of you, what is love? Because to search for something, we need to know what we're looking for first, right? So what is love? No ideas. What is love?
Love? Love is blissful.
Love is what?
Blissfulness.
Okay, love is bliss. Okay. Okay. What else?
Willing to make compromises.
Willing to make compromises? Okay. And could you explain that a little bit more?
Oh, so then like when you think of love, it's most like you understand someone and you respect what they have an opinion on or what they prefer, and then like you're willing to make compromises for them.
Okay. Respect. Okay. So I'm just curious then, if in that definition of love there's understanding and respect, is it a compromise? Huh?
Yeah, because it might not be what you wanted to do in the first
Okay.
place. You're doing it for them.
Selflessness. Yeah.
Okay. Selfless. And then another, so selfless, valuing another's needs above.
You just watch Disney Frozen, and that's exactly what Olaf says.
Well, that's fine.
Putting someone else's needs above your.
Alright. So if this is the case of love, and does anyone want to add any other ideas to this?
The sacrifice comes under love.
Sacrifice?
No,
Okay.
I'm asking, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, you tell me.
Compromise, sacrifice, it sounds like the same family.
Okay. If we can agree to that. I'm going to change markers. Okay. And just curious, well, the reason I was pushing a little bit on compromises and I guess sacrifices is, what's the mood of when I make a compromise in the name of love, or I make a sacrifice in the name of love?
I was just going to say is, love to me is service,
Okay.
when the person you love, like their happiness is your happiness. And so selfless service to the person you love makes you happy and fulfilled.
Okay, so I'm gonna add that to their happiness. Is my happiness.
Those markers are nobody there.
Yeah, I know. I'm running out of options. I'll try this one.
You can get it from the other
If you
direction.
connected your laptop, why don't you just type it?
Oh, that's a good idea.
But anyway, I think you're,
Okay. I'll go back to the first one.
but she said love is fulfilling. I mean, that's a good.
Alright. Lots of really nice words up here. And they're all correct, they're all aspects of love. Would anyone else like to add anything, or this is a pretty solid definition of love? Okay. We'll just emphasize it with the big part. I tried. So we've talked about these nice things, and that, thank you so much. And this stands in contrast with perhaps the casual way that we talk about love, either to a person or a concept or an object, whatever it might be. And so it sounds like there's two uses of that word, where there's that casual and then there's love with the capital L. With love with a capital L, how does it start? We're talking about the search for love. Last week we talked about when there's the journey of 1,000 miles, a clear sense of where you are and where you're going. So let's get an idea of where does it start? How does it start?
When we want something.
Okay, so there's a kind of personal interest. Okay, I'll say origins. Some kind of personal or self-interest. Okay, what else? How does it start?
From family, maybe, like by observing mother's love or something like that.
Okay, so some kind of innate attraction in somebody who's giving something to you.
Experience of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that an okay way to phrase what you were
Yeah,
saying as well? Okay. That's a really important point. In order to create or manifest love, I have to receive that love. What else?
You feel like a void,
Hmm.
that you're seeking to fill a void in
Ah,
you, that
okay.
you've identified.
An inner void to fill. That's very powerful.
And seeking.
And seeking
Because I mean, if you're not looking for it, you're not.
to resolve, to find. Now, okay, so there's some need, and I'm curious, and there's an experience of an inner void, and I'm curious about this personal or self-interest angle. Let's think in our lives somebody very, very close to us, whether it's a spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend, or best friend. Can you think back on the time when you first met that person? In starting that relationship, was it a conscious, oh, I have this need for love and maybe this is the person that I can share or experience this with? Was that the first thought that was the point of attraction?
No.
No. What were some of the reasons for that initial attraction?
Similarities.
Okay, some kind of commonality? Okay. What else?
It's just like you just feel a sense of connection right away, and you feel like it's more of a feeling. You just, find yourself being happy around that person all the time.
Yeah, I mean, there's many ways to put it. In short, this person does something for me, fulfills a certain innate need, maybe even temporarily can fill that void.
Or doesn't judge you.
Let's see. Satisfies a need. Is that okay to expand what you're saying? Just more in general, like if I have a need to not feel judged, then I might gravitate towards somebody that doesn't make me feel judged. Or did you want to say something more specific than that?
Yeah, I guess I don't know who would like to be judged, so.
That's true.
Maybe the need for unconditional acceptance.
Yeah, acceptance.
Yeah.
Need for acceptance, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so it's interesting, even in this topic of origins of love, there's the very much, let's say, self-driven, I have this need, I'm looking outside me to fulfill it. Here it's, I've experienced it and I want to share it. And this one, I'd say, is more tied to how this manifests. So it's kind of interesting, just there's these different grades or qualities of the origin of a loving relationship. And to explore this concept a little bit more, I'd like to show a video. If you've seen it, it's The Missing Piece Meets the Big O by Shel Silverstein. Has any, yeah, let me put on the projector.
I think the switch is behind.
Oh, it's behind? Yes, it is.
Oh,
It's also got a very big sign.
Runtime
What is it?
big upper bound runtime complexity.
It's
Is that computer science?
a big term. Big term in
Most important term of
Yes.
Oh, so is it a good thing or bad thing?
I would bad thing, but if it's too big, it's a bad thing.
Oh.
Oh no. Well, maybe we can reimagine or reclaim that concept. Yes. All right, so we're gonna watch this, and let's just think about the nature of seeking love and how we relate to it and how it influences our relationships and expectations of others.
The Missing Piece Meets the Big O by Shel Silverstein. The missing piece sat alone, waiting for someone to come along and take it somewhere. Some fit, but could not roll. Others could roll, but did not fit. One didn't know a thing about fitting. And another didn't know a thing about anything. One was too delicate. One put it on a pedestal and left it there. Some had too many pieces missing. It learned to hide from the hungry ones. Others rolled right by without noticing. It tried to make itself more attractive. It didn't help. It tried being flashy. But that just frightened away the shy ones. At last, one came along that fit just right. But all of a sudden, the missing piece began to grow and grow didn't know you were going to grow. I didn't know it either, said the missing piece. I'm looking for my missing piece, one that won't increase. And then one day, one came along who looked different. What do you want of me? Asked the missing piece. Nothing. What do you need from me? Nothing. Who are you? I am the Big O, said the Big O. I think you are the one I have been waiting for. Maybe I am your missing piece. But I am not missing a piece. There is no place you would fit. That is too bad. I was hoping that perhaps I could roll with you. You cannot roll with me, but perhaps you can roll by yourself. By myself? A missing piece cannot roll by itself. Have you ever tried? But I have sharp corners. I am not shaped for rolling. Corners wear off, and shapes change. Anyhow, I must say goodbye. Perhaps we will meet again. And away it rolled. The missing piece was alone again. For a long time, it just sat there. Then, slowly, it lifted itself up on one end and flopped over. Then lift, pull, flop. It began to move forward, and soon its edges began to wear off. Lift, pull, flop, lift, pull, flop. And its shape began to change, and then it was bumping instead of flopping. And then it was bouncing instead of bumping. And then it was rolling instead of bouncing. And it didn't know where, and it didn't care. It was rolling.
So, first thoughts on that. Who here was rooting for the missing piece as it was trying to flop over? What was your thought on that, though? In connection with this topic of love, its origins, and our search, our quest to find it.
Maybe it's all within us.
Okay, something innate, something inherent. Other thoughts?
Selfless, love is selfless.
Okay. Yes, yes, that is true. That by nature it is selfless, so just kind of relating to the ideas of what love is, and with respect to the ideas presented in that short video, just about when thinking about our journey to find love. Does our journey to find love typically look like the first large section of that video, or more like the last small section of that video? First large section? Okay. Had that experience? Yes? Yeah.
Yeah, because the whole world is telling you you have to look for it outside.
Yeah, yeah. That's true. Like even, statements like, you complete me, or I would be nothing without you, or fill in the blank. That it's very ingrained in our culture, very ingrained even just in our everyday life, that we need somebody else to make us whole. Now, one piece of advice I got before getting married was to not look to the partner to fulfill a missing need. That we should be, or he was guiding that it's important to be completely satisfied, not looking for others. Now, why would it be, first of all, do you see it as risky or as beneficial to look for others to fulfill our needs? You say risky. How many of us think it's risky to look for others to fulfill our needs? Okay, how many of us think that it's a good thing and that's what we should, and that that's the proper way to lead a happy and satisfying life? Okay? Okay? Mix. Okay, let's hear about this mix. So first, those of you that raised your hand for it's risky. Why is that risky? To look for others to satisfy a need.
Because they have missing pieces themselves.
Okay.
It's difficult for someone who's struggling with their own challenges to fulfill completely.
Did everyone hear that? What Shambhavi shared, that it's everybody has a certain degree of missing piece, and so if we're looking for somebody to complete us, that person is also not complete in themselves, if that's the approach we're taking to relationships. What else? And there were some examples of this offered in the video as well, of some of the challenges and risks associated with looking for somebody to complete me. How many of us remember the many failed attempts for the missing piece to find her corresponding piece? Either the fit wasn't right or the fit was right for some time, but the situation changed and it was no longer right. It was very conditional, based on time, place, and circumstance. So what works at one moment is not necessarily true for eternity. And so the idea of looking for something outside when it's an internal need, there's a certain degree of incompatibility, but some of you are saying, wait, we should also be looking outside as a complete person, and I'm curious if you wouldn't mind sharing your thoughts on that as well.
Well, something like love is respect, right? You would expect someone, actually, because I was thinking about kids, they don't necessarily respect you, but you still love them anyway.
It's the same as siblings. I think.
Yeah. You love them anyway.
Was that true? You don't respect them
I don't know.
though? Or they don't respect?
There's times when you cross the line sometimes with your siblings. I guess
Okay.
if you do too much, maybe it's a problem.
But this is asking more, should we be looking at love as this bandage, if you will, to, like, love from outside as this bandage to fulfill this inner void?
I think, so it's sort of a mix because you have to be complete within yourself first, like a healthy person, with your own sense of inner happiness and your own sense of, satisfaction. But through love with another person, it makes you a better person. It enhances, what you already have. It makes your love deeper. There's just so much that another person can come, because when two people come together, there's a higher level of love than just one person by themselves.
Okay, yeah, so there's a difference that you're illustrating really nicely, which is in a relationship, if I'm looking for somebody just to complete me, versus in a relationship, I'm looking for somebody who can enhance, not fulfill a
Help me
need.
grow, yeah.
Exactly. And
Like that O was helping the piece grow.
Yes.
exactly, that O didn't say, let me round off your corners for you, I'll bump on you in different spaces or anything like that, but that O taught the missing piece how to grow, to also be fully self-satisfied. Now there's a story that I'm going to share, one more video. And it's Jay Shetty. How many of us are familiar with him, if you can see? And he shares this really nice story about the musk deer and just the search for love. And gives a really nice punchline. We can't love someone we don't know. Do we all agree with that? Okay.
There's a beautiful Indian story about a musk deer with a really powerful lesson. Now, you may have already heard of musk, maybe because it exists in your perfumes or your aftershaves or deodorants as a scent. And this scent is one of the most expensive natural products in the world, fetching 3 times its weight in gold. Now, when this deer comes across this aroma, this scent, it becomes completely captivated. It searches through the forest day and night for the source of this scent. Completely intoxicated by this incredible fragrance, the deer searches in every corner, in every place to find where it's coming from. The deer completely exhausts itself looking for the source, with the bitter irony and not recognizing that the fragrance comes from inside its own body. The fragrance musk is produced in a gland in the deer's body. The deer spends its whole life searching for outside what was always hidden inside. I heard this example when I lived as a monk to describe the human.
Thoughts on that? Is there innate love inside each of us? Do we agree with that? Why do we agree with that?
Because we loved ourselves as kids.
No, why do we agree with the statement that there is love inside us?
Because we can express natural quality of any soul.
Okay, there's a natural quality. It's common that it's something we're all seeking. And I heard something else, I'm sorry.
We can express.
Okay, we have that capacity to express it. Yeah, and an important part of inordinate love is an experience of it. But it doesn't necessarily mean that we all had that perfect experience of being loved. That tendency is still there, just waiting to be awakened. It's natural to the soul to experience this love. We're all seeking it, we're trying to receive it, and we're also trying to give it in our interactions in different ways. And sometimes it comes out in different ways, in the sense of we have these really wonderful words about what love is. How many of us have had an experience, though, where we thought there was a strong relationship, something in our situation changed, and that person stopped talking to us or acted differently, whatever it might be? Have any of us experienced that more conditional aspect of life? It happens. And there's many different qualities that initially would be attractive, but if it doesn't go further into trying to see the person as they are, with that experience of respect, valuing one's needs above their own, their happiness is my happiness, it stays on that conditional platform. Now, the title of this video that we just looked at, that you can't love somebody you don't know, we can all agree with that. So it's important, first of all, to understand who is this person that I am expressing love to. If they're not the nice clothes they wear, if they're not the money, if they're not perhaps in an attractive packaging, if they're not very famous, if they're not whatever it might be, then what is it that I'm reposing my love unto? And similarly, if we say, well, we need to experience it or receive it in order to give it, you hear the topics of self-love, self-care. How many of us can confidently answer, who is the self? How are you caring for the self? And so just this whole ecosystem of love is so dependent on understanding our identities and those of us around us. Now, the word soul came out earlier as a response. And it's one of those easier said than done kinds of things, because we operate in this world, we're students, we're working professionals, we're friends, we're sisters and brothers, we're all these different identities that we wear, which we had a lot of discussion on last semester. And it's being able to peel back the layers of those identities to really see this person. Like, has anyone ever tried this exercise? And if you're totally uncomfortable doing it, it's understandable. But have you ever just, like, looked into somebody's eyes for 30 seconds even, and just felt that connection? It wasn't about suddenly all of the things that person can do for me or can't do for me. It was, here's another person experiencing joys and sorrows with dreams, aspirations, just like me. And so I'd like that to be the focus of our meditation today. So we'll transition to that and just ask everyone to close your eyes. And some of us have gone through a similar meditation last semester, but it's a really nice one. And I just want you to, first of all, feel the cloth on your skin. The shirt, the pants against your torso, your legs. Feel the sensations on your skin. Maybe it's a little cool, a little warm for you. Then start to feel the blood pulsing through your body, your heartbeat. And draw your attention to the tips of your toes, and slowly bring awareness up through the ankles, through the legs, up past the knees, up through the thighs, to your waist, to your belly, up through the chest, through the arms, through the tips of the fingers, and back to the neck, and through the head. And now bring your awareness a little bit more inside. Take a deep breath. Continue breathing deeply, and bring your awareness to the air passing through your nose or mouth, down to the lungs, feeling them expand, full of nourishing oxygen, and pushing out the carbon dioxide. Feel your body inflate and deflate. Now bring your awareness